Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Beverly Hillbillies Facts and Trivia. Y'all kick off your shoes and you said a spell, all right? Now here's your host for the show, the old Kentucky boy himself, Mr. Bob Snap.
Hi guys, welcome to the Beverly Hillbillies Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video is on some stars that kindly dropped in on the Beverly Hillbillies. Now, I'm not talking about being on the show exactly, but just dropping in to visit. Let's take a look. In the 9 primetime years that the Hillbillies resided in the hills of Beverly, where movie stars and socialites shine, Jed, Granny, and the gang played host to many of the biggest celebrities in town. The show was such a hit that many of the area's most talented performers were happy as an itching pig rubbing itself against a rail fence to land a guest spot on it. We not only had guest stars on the show occasionally, but we all had big ones stopping by the set just to watch the filming or just say hi, says actor Phil Gordon, who played Jasper Jazzbo Depew early in the series. Our set wasn't completely closed, so people like Lucille Ball, Phyllis Diller, people from the Addams Family cast, Ricky Nelson, Minnie Pearl, and bunches of other country western stars loved to drop by. Some actors like Raymond Massey were so anxious for a guest shot or even a cameo appearance that they can't send kind notes to Paul Henning with more than a subtle hint that they'd love to work for him. When the show hit hard, Spike Jones enthusiastically offered his talents as musical director. Back then, it was like today's version of supplying a guest voice on The Simpsons. An episode of The Hillbillies was the thing to do. There were some, like Lynn Campbell, who Paul Henning pursued. Henning and another writer prepared a full script on spec, hoping that the young country singer might appear on the show. His manager, Nick Savano, never delivered Paul Henning's persistent solicitations because he thought the show was beneath his client. The script was quickly rewritten and Pat Boone was substituted. Another script idea had the Hillbillies sing an old Shirley Temple film, Captain January, in which Buddy Ebsen danced with her. Of course, the Hillbillies, charmed by her cuteness, would still think of her as a 6-year-old moppet. The former actress was approached about appearing on the show, but declined, and the idea was dropped. Sharon Tate, who's more famous for her savage murder by the Charles Manson gang in the 60s, then for her acting, appeared in many episodes as Janet Trago, one of the secretarial pool at the Commerce Bank. Most of the time, she donned a black wig for the role. When we first got her, she couldn't even walk through the door convincingly, said Depew. She was very amateurish. It was hard for her to read a line, and she went to acting school, and she learned a lot. She was a very pleasant girl and extremely beautiful. A real tragedy. Max Baer, who dated Tate during the series, comments, she was a lovely girl, but I never got that close to her. Before he played Archie Bunker's son-in-law, Meathead on All in the Family, or started his career as a film director, Rob Reiner frequented in sitcoms such as Gomer Pyle, USMC, and The Hillbillies as a long-haired, bearded hippie. As a professional hippie on television series in the 60s, Reiner said in an interview, I was hired because the real hippies were always stoned and couldn't remember their lines, and I could remember my lines. Of course, no sitcom of the 60s was complete without the regular character actor Burt Mustin, Lyle Talbot, Kathleen Freeman, Elvia Allman, John McGiver, Olin Soul, Herb Vigran, Charles Lane, Mary Wicks, Fred Clark, and Milton Frome. The Hillbillies didn't forget them, nor did they shun the likes of Eddie Albert, Jim Backus, Lola Albright, Mel Blanc, Pat Boone, Foster Brooks, Sebastian Cabot, Roy Clark, Don Rickles, Soupy Sales, Bill Silvers, John Wayne, or Rich Little, among others. I think it's really neat that all those stars wanted to be part of it, and some of the bigger ones didn't get to. I just think, wow, that tells you how popular the show was. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about going back and checking out my 3-part series on the interview with Max Baer Jr. that Stephen Cox did. That's some excerpts from it. It's pretty interesting, some behind-the-scenes stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic TV facts and trivia. Today it's on Gilligan's Island. Classic rock and country music facts and trivia. Head on over there. Please subscribe. Have a great day. God bless. Be praying for you.